the Titans locker room here with the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, Robert Saleh. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
First of all, what is this your most favorite place in the world, the locker room?
Oh yeah, this is where everything happens. These guys, the players, there's a lot of fanfare and a lot of people get attention, but at the end of the day, it's the players that make this thing tick, and I can't wait to meet them.
Why was this the locker room you wanted to be in? Why did you want to be the coach of the Tennessee Titans?
You know, I believe that people win championships, and shamelessly, I did about as much research on this place as probably the organization did on me, and you'd be hard pressed to find anyone say a bad word about anyone within the leadership group that is the Tennessee Titans. And the more research I did, the more excited I got to meeting people. And then obviously during the interview process, just meeting everybody and seeing the authenticity, I was convinced that, this is an organization that has the people to win a championship.
Specifically, let's talk about some of the players that you have. Over your left shoulder is Jeffery Simmons' locker, first team All-Pro.
Oh, yeah.
Who says he FaceTimed with you and may have put a little bug in your ear
He did.
when the 49ers and Titans played
He did.
in December. What have your conversations been like with Big Jeff?
Just a couple, more meet and greet. Excited to get our hands on him and show him another way to play football. He's already done it at such a high level, and so we're going to come in and try not to break it. Just try to give him a couple more tools to continue building what he's built in terms of his career. But if he's half of what I heard he is off the field, he's going to be just fine for a long time.
Over to your right, Coach, is number 1, Cam Ward, the quarterback of the Titans. You spoke glowingly about him when you were preparing to play him in December as you were the defensive coordinator of the 49ers. What do you think about your quarterback now?
Again, I'm another one that I'm excited to work with, and going through the process and just asking about the quarterback. Obviously you go through your evaluation, but again, people win championships, and you always look to the players when there's adversity like the Titans had over the course of last year. Mm-hmm. His work ethic, his drive, his desire to win. It sounds like he is relentless in his pursuit to be great, and if you have that the way he has it, he's another one that's going to be just fine.
Big Jeff loves going after Cam in practice. Are you coming after Cam in practice?
I always joke as a head coach, you're always winning. Offense wins, defense wins, but no, it's going to be competitive. With both in all 3 phases, we're going to compete like heck, and every day we'll reset. I
want to ask you about all 3 phases, but let's start with the defense. As you've been coaching on the defensive side of the ball for the last couple of decades, defensive coordinator with the 49ers, you were a linebackers coach with the Jaguars and with the Texans. You won a Super Bowl as an assistant with the Seattle Seahawks. Is there something, Coach, that all of those defenses had in common?
Yeah, the one thing that you find in common, there's a genuine love for each other in the locker room. They play for one another, they feed off one another. There's an investment in one another that builds a culture where each player is afraid to fail for their teammate. And there's a tremendous bond that gets created, and appreciation for how hard each other works. And the great teams always find that, and I think it's something just doing our research on this locker room and the things that are being built and the young nucleus that's here. It's really excited to get to work and help navigate, help our players navigate those waters.
Let's talk about the other 2 phases and the people that will be coaching those phases. John Bones Fossil is staying here as a special teams coach, coming off of a terrific special teams season, and Brian Daboll is the new offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. An old Giants and an old Jets guy that shared the same building are now working together. What can you tell us about those guys?
Yeah, so obviously Bones, well respected around the league. I've never coached with him, only coached against him, and I know every special teams coordinator, the week that they're playing a Bones special teams group, it's a headache. And so it was a no-brainer for us to keep him. And then and to piggyback off that with Bones, I mean, he's an elite human being. Like I said, all the research and just the communication that I've had around the staff and just everybody, he stands out as somebody who is elitely positive and his players love. As for Daboll, you look for somebody you know, when you're trying to build a staff, you just look at the people. You look at the quarterback first, and what's best for the quarterback. What type of system will help him be his best? What type of coach can extract him being his best? When you look at a guy like Daboll, his system, obviously tailor-made for a guy like Cam, and then you look at his history with young quarterbacks, whether it's Josh Allen, the players he had in college. Jackson Dart this year was getting ready to have be the NFL Rookie of the Year. You know, he's been, I don't want to say a quarterback whisperer, but he's always maximized the players he's had, and so just getting him has just been, it's awesome to get him in the building, especially with all the head offensive coordinator openings this year, with all the competition out there. To have him commit to this organization and Cam speaks volume to the belief he has in us.
It says a lot about you, says a lot about him, that you guys want to be here.
For sure. No, It does. It's like I said, this organization is built to win, and we're excited to attack it.
Let's go back with Robert Saleh a little bit. From Dearborn, Michigan, played football at Northern Michigan. When did the dream begin to be a coach in the game of football?
You know, I joke that the Saleh family is born with a football in their hands. You know, so my high school, Fortson High School, I have 20 aunts and uncles. I have over 80 first cousins. Wow. And from 1960 until 1997, my last year, my dad's first, so 1960 at high school, there was a Saleh on the football team from 1960 to 1997, my dad being first, me being the last. And so there is a tradition of football that just runs deep in our family. For me, I always was curious about coaching, especially when I knew that my playing career wasn't going to go any further than college. And you know, I went into the corporate world afterwards, and showing up to work, sitting in a cubicle, it wasn't for me. And then obviously the story's known a little bit with 9/11 and all that, but just had some moments in life that kind of steered me into taking a shot on me with regards to coaching, and you know, like I said, I've been very fortunate.
Yeah, your brother obviously was in one of those buildings and got out, thankfully, and you've mentioned that a number of times. That was a big moment for you, saying, I need to do what I want to do with my life, and that's coach football.
Yeah, it was obviously through a tremendous tragedy in this country's history. You know, it guided me in a direction that has been a blessing for me.
Okay, but at first you were a tight end
Yep.
growing up, and you played tight end at Northern Michigan, and then you coached that position at Michigan State. How'd you get switched to the defensive side of the ball?
You know, so the first staff I was a part of with Coach Bobby Williams, you know, he gets let go, and John L. Smith comes in, and they didn't have a defensive guy on the staff, and so they moved me over there, and that's where it kind of started. And the funny story goes, I go to Central Michigan, and all Brian Kelly has, I just walked into his office unannounced, and he's like, all I have for you is a defensive graduate assistant. You want it? And I was like, heck yeah, I want it. That's where I met Matt LaFleur. And so I get to the Houston Texans. I'd been there for a couple of years, and we lose our offensive assistant, and I had a decision to make. You know, I was like, man, I really want to get to the offensive side of the ball where I felt comfortable. But I also had an opportunity to help my buddy Matt LaFleur get into the NFL, and so that was kind of the breaking point where I was forever a defensive coach.
I'm glad John L. Smith moved you over
No doubt.
to defense.
I always joke with those guys, coaching defense is more fun anyway.
Coach, Titans fans are going to get used to you talking constantly about a standard, about discipline, about being determined. I'm wondering if there was an experience or a set of people that sort of form the convictions that you have as a coach.
Yeah, oh man, I'll say I've been blessed. You know, starting in Houston with Dom Capers and Vic Fangio, I was his quality control, tremendous influences, just first time being in the league, and then Gary Kubiak and his staff. But for me, the turning point for me was when I got to Seattle. Pete Carroll with philosophy, Ken Norton Jr. with how to digest, help a player digest all the information that he's getting, Rocky Seto just just how to be a better father, a better friend. Tom Cable, you had Gus Bradley, you know, from a schematic standpoint, and then Pete, obviously, philosophically. But I had a 3-month-old at the time. I was about, God, I forget, early 30s, just starving for direction. That place changed my life. And but again, you know, went to Jacksonville, being part of the Shanahan family, just Papa Shanahan, Monty. I mean, there's so many people who have touched my life in a positive way. And like I said, I can't pinpoint one, but the league has raised me. It really has, and and I'm fortunate to have been a part of it.
One of my favorite things from afar that you've always talked about is being better at the end of the day than you were when you woke up in the morning.
Yeah, go to bed better than when you woke up.
How much will you be talking about that with this team?
100%. There's no two ways about it. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. And it doesn't mean that you have to get better at everything every day, but to find one singular thing that you're going to attack the second you wake up should be the purpose of every person in this locker room, every person in this building. And we'll wear that out, because you're never walk into this building without the intent to find a way to get better. And our standard is the standard. We'll establish what that is. But like I said, I think guys will appreciate the way each other works.
This isn't the only team you're on. The Salehs are a team of 10 with your wife Sana at home and your 8 children. You have Mila, Ella, Adam, Zane, Michael, Sam, Jacob, and Robert Jr.
Deuce.
Deuce, there you go. How excited is the entire Saleh team to be calling Nashville, Tennessee home now?
Oh, they're ecstatic. It's funny because I talk with my mom and dad and my family about it. They're like, man, do they, all the moving, do you think, they're just excited for the next adventure. They're excited for the next opportunity, and they're ride or die with dad, and so they can't wait.
What will it take today, tomorrow, and the months to come for the Titans to win next fall?
It starts in the moment. Like, we have no control over our results. The results are the results, but to give yourself a chance to have the results you want, it starts in the moment, finding ways to get better every single day, attacking the moment, having great process, understanding what's being asked of you, understanding your expectations, understanding what the standard is. All those things matter, and starting from day one until week one, the goal is to dominate your moment, get better every day, and when we approach game day where the result is a result, we hope that we put ourselves in position to get what we want.
What do you want Titans fans to know about their football team?
We're gonna be fast and violent. I can promise you that. And hopefully it's a team that when you turn on the tape or when you watch them on TV, they just pop off with the energy. I'll say it again: the violence that you expect out of a football team, and a team that loves one another. That's going to be the big part of it. And so a team that you're absolutely proud to turn on and watch every single week.
I can't wait to be here with you, Coach, or along this journey. Tighten up.
You and me both, brother.